Happy Wednesday evening. It's way after work. Yes, had a class this evening and didn't have time to do an after work book. But no time like the present. Even though I'm bushed, I love reading children's books. So let's see what this one is. Iggy Peck Architect. Iggy Peck Architect. I was talking about a very famous architect. Is it Phil Freeland? Is that right? And he designed the Smithsonian Museum, African Art in Washington, D.C. Yeah, we read about him. Yep, Phil Freeland. And we love to just look at buildings and look at structures. So this should be great. I need to take this glare off. So let's see. So you can see the picture as well. Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, it's kind of dark, but okay. Let's look. Iggy Peck Architect by Andrea Beatty and illustrated by David Roberts. Oh, I hope it's not too dark. Let's see. Awards and praise for Iggy Architect. Oh my goodness. Rhyming text and playful art in watercolor and pen ink combined to inspire genius in early bloomers. That's by the Washington Post, a surefire winner. Okay. Some kids sculpt and build sand castles. Some make mud pies. Some construct great block towers. Hold on. Got a box here. But no one is better at building than Iggy Peck, who once erected a life-size replica of the Great Sphinx. On his front lawn. It's too bad that few people appreciate Iggy's talent. Certainly not his second grade teacher, Miss Lila Greer. It looks as if Iggy will have to trade in his T-square for a box of crayons until a fateful field trip. Oh, I'm arranging a field trip today. Oh, talking to bus companies and they had me on the line on hold for 40 minutes, and it turns out that they're not going to be the ones to transport us anyway. But, if you have ever coordinated travel, it could be a bear, especially with the bus driver shortage. But all is well. It seems like all is well. Well, anyway. So Iggy had a field trip. And it proves just how masterful a master builder can be. That's why it's so important to take kids outside and see the world so they can see possibilities of what can be achieved in their life, right? They can be it if they see it. But if they are not exposed, oh my goodness, very, very limiting. Okay. That's why we really want the students who don't believe in themselves and acting out. But that's the tricky part. Trying to get them focused on their future and know that they have great possibilities. Well, let's see. Young Iggy Peck is an architect and has been since he was 2 when he built a great tower in only an hour with nothing but diapers and glue. Good gracious, Ignatius, his mother exclaimed. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. But her smile faded fast as a light wind blew past, and she realized those diapers weren't clean. Ew! Ignatius, my son, what on earth have you done? That's disgusting and nasty. It stinks. How many times a day did I hear, it stinks? You stink. You pass gas. I was like, oh no, we can't do this on a field trip, guys. Just calmly, if something smells, just hold your nose and just relocate your space. You don't have to make a big deal. Use your words kindly. Oh, excuse me. I'd just rather sit here. That's it. You don't have to make a big spectacle. But Iggy was gone. He was out on the lawn, using dirt clods to build a great sphinx. When Iggy was 3, his parents could see his unusual passion would stay. He built churches and chapels from peaches and apples, and temples from modeling clay. He looks like his papi and mommy. How cute. And watercolor and pen. At dinner one night, to his father's delight, Iggy got a bright gleam in his eye, and out on the porch built the St. Louis Arch from pancakes and coconut pie. Interesting. Dear Ig had it made until 2nd grade when his teacher was Miss Lila Greer. On the very first day, she had this to say: "We do not talk of buildings in here. Gothic or Romanesque, I couldn't care less about buildings, ancient or new." She said in her lecture about architecture that it had no place in grade 2. Okay, Miss Lila Greer. That might seem severe, but she was sincere, for when she was no more than 7, she'd had a great fright at dizzying height in a building so tall it scraped heaven. On an architect's tour of the 95th floor. Oh, are they saying this might be Chicago? That does look like the Palm. Couple buildings on Michigan Avenue. Yeah, kind of looks familiar. Would that look like the old CNA building? I'm not sure, but then that would be South Michigan. Well, maybe, just being creative on her own. And an architect's tour of the 95th floor. They closed the 95th floor restaurant in the John Hancock building. So that's what made me think about it. Young Lila got lost from the group. Oh, no. Lila. I got a couple Lilas. She was found 2 days later in a stuck elevator. That's traumatic. Eating cheese with a French circus troupe. After that day, it's quite safe to say she thought all building lovers were nuts. As a teacher, she thought that, above all, one ought to avoid them, no ifs, ands, or buts. Yeah, that would be kind of frightening for 2 days stuck in an elevator. Can you imagine? Oh my goodness. That's claustrophobic, the air. Oh. As you might guess, it would cause Iggy stress. The question was asked today, what do you do when you feel stressed? Sorry about this box. I have some boots I ordered, but this box is bothering me. I need to move it for real. Okay, but what do you do when you get stressed? Hopefully you don't shop or overshop. I actually needed those boots. But what do you do? Drink tea. Yeah, read. Walk. Pray. Run. So many things you can do. Well, as you might guess, like I said, it would cause Iggy stress to hear such terrible talk. Yeah, that stresses me out, hearing. That stresses me out, but just undue pressure. But he didn't hear. He sat in the rear while building a castle of chalk. He ignored them. I didn't hear them. I didn't let it get in my heart. You got to insulate and shield your heart with all diligence. Guard it because things can bother and you don't want to get sick. Heart sick. You, Iggy Peck, your desk is a wreck. Tear down that castle right now. Oh my. Come on. You will not build in here. Is that perfectly clear? Do you need to see Principal Hal? Teacher, what's going on, honey? What's going on? Oh, well. Let's see how this ends. Oh, no, ma'am, Iggy said. He lowered his head and his heart sank down to the floor. With no chance to build, his interest was killed. Oh my goodness. Has someone killed your interest? No. With all that you have to protect. You gotta protect what's in you. People will try to throw darts and arrows, and you remember someone threw a spear at someone a long time ago, and even without looking, they were able to dodge. Yeah, that's going to happen. Just know you're going to have to be careful, alert, try to avoid those situations, and you be the best that you can be. Oh, this is bothering me because look at him. Look how discouraged he feels. Oh, his heart sank down to the floor. With no chance to build, his interest was killed. Now, second grade was a bore. How many can say that? Now, sixth grade is a bore. Now, fourth grade is a bore. How many times do you hear that? And they lose it. They unplug. And especially if they're behind in reading, and then as the texts get more difficult, then because they can't read and engage, well, they'll clown. They'll unplug and do something else. Oh my. After 12 long days that passed in a haze of reading, writing, and arithmetic, Miss Greer took the class to the Blue River Pass for a hike and an old-fashioned picnic. Well, I'm glad they got out. Oh. They crossed an old trestle to a small island nestled in the heart of a burbling stream, but they no sooner passed than the footbridge collapsed, and Miss Lila Greer started to scream. We're trapped here. Oh my, alas, kids, goodbye. Her eyeballs rolled back in her head. She dropped to the ground with a vague groaning sound. Luckily fainted, not dead. What is going on here? What type of madness is going on? The class was amazed. They stood there quite dazed, uncertain of what they should do. But one bright young man was off hatching a plan, which started with Miss Lila's shoe. Soon each lad and lass there at Blue River Pass was working together as one. Teamwork is a dream work. And when she came to, Miss Lila Greer knew that something quite brave had been done. She looked in the air and saw hanging there a structure with cables and braces, and on the far side, beaming with pride, were 17 smiling young faces. Boots, tree roots, and strings, fruit roll-ups and things, some of which one should not mention, were stretched ridge to ridge in a glorious bridge, dangling from shoestring suspension. A lot going on here. It all became clear to Miss Lila Greer as she crossed that bridge over the stream. There are worse things to do when you're in grade 2 than to spend time building a dream. Are you building a dream, a good dream, this very day, this very evening? Have you been doing that with your waking hours? Yeah, it's good to daydream, but actually start constructing what you want to, everybody says it now, manifest, but what you want to come to pass. Now, every week at Blue River Creek, elementary and second grade, all the school kids can hear, along with Miss Greer, how the world's greatest buildings were made. The weekly guest speaker in t-shirt and sneakers talks of buildings from Rome to Quebec. Of course, he's a guy who builds towers from Pi, that brilliant young man, Iggy Peck. Very nice, very nice. You see how he has found his joy. It's important to help every child, every grown-up, everybody out here to find their passion. Yeah, very few people have really found it or are living it day to day. And when you're not operating, you're just existing. When you're not operating in that bliss or what you are here to do, seasons will pass from winter to spring, to fall, to winter, spring, summer. Summer is short, then fall. Winter, spring, summer, fall. And then month after month, it just passes. Andrea Beatty is the best-selling author of so many Ada Twist, Sciences, Rosie Revere. She writes now children's books in her home outside Chicago. So this was based on some of the buildings of Chicago. Yeah. And David Roberts has illustrated so much. He lives in London. And when not drawing, he likes to make hats. You see, they found their passion. They found their bliss. They found what makes their heart beat. But make sure that you find what makes it skip a beat in a healthy way. But at the same time, shield your heart from those who would try to kill your dream. All right? Enjoy. Good night. Get good rest so that you can wake up in bliss to do what you are made to do.